Marsha Blackburn's a Tennessee Congresswoman who just had breakfast with Andrew, and she's just with us now from the Hill. Marsha, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Shocking
Good
news,
morning.
I'm certain, right?
Yes, it certainly is. And when Andrew was in town for CPAC, there's a group of us, happy warrior conservatives, if you will, and we comprise the theme team. And he had breakfast with us over in the Capitol. And we always found him to be such an encourager of the fight and so instructive. You know, how we get our message out, how we frame issues, how we talk about issues, and how diligent he was to always take his time and encourage us to stay in the fight and hang in there with it.
What do you think drove him?
I think that a love for freedom, free people, and free markets is really what drove him, because he was always focused on what was the truth that was being told, or what was the misstatements that were being made, and how we cut through that. And I always appreciated every time he came in to talk with us that he helped us to simplify that message and to focus on the things that the American people were deeply concerned about, which is freedom for the future, freedom for our children, making life better for those that are going to come behind us, and realizing that people come to our shores for freedom and for the American dream. And you know, he was just so good at helping us to recenter, to be thoughtful about what we said, to be able to back up the statements that we made. And I enjoyed every conversation I had with him, and he indeed is going to be missed within the halls here in Congress. And
I tell you, it's, you know, between, you know, the politics, yourself in Washington and we in the media, we've been familiar with Andrew's work for many years, but there's probably, I'd venture to say, a big part of our viewing audience that's not quite as familiar. And I think the best way to describe the way he went about his life and his profession is that if some people ran away from the fire, Andrew ran toward the flames.
Well, you're right about that, and he had a thirst for the truth, and I always appreciated that, because when he would meet with us and we would talk about different issues and what we were finding out, he had that curious mind and that thirst for the truth that said, this is great, these are nuggets. And I just always felt that his focus was on the big picture and how we preserve freedom, and then he could localize it so well because of his commitment to his family, and then his commitment to the conservative cause, and help us figure out, working in today's culture, how to help individuals join us in this fight, because that's what you've got to do, is make certain that they understand how this is going to affect them. So a lot of wisdom that he brought to the table with us, and indeed certainly an encourager for those of us that are in the fight every single day.
Our condolences to you, Marsha Blackburn. Thank you. You lost a friend today, and to everybody else who's with us also.
Yes.
Recalling the young life of Andrew Breitbart and the mark he has left now, whether it's media or politics, on the American social discourse. Andrew Breitbart, dead at the age of 43, natural causes, at his home in Los Angeles. Late last night into the early morning hours, he leaves behind a wife and 4 young children, and to his wife and 4 children. Our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts are with you today and every day from this point forward. Andrew Breitbart, dead at the age of 43.